The ability to implicitly trust yourself is one of the most powerful keys that I have come across in my journeys and experience as a human being at this time. If you are finding this video, it's my perspective that you are on a path with which you are developing deeper trust within yourself, and you're approaching your life with more clarity and more discernment day to day. I'm Danielle Lynn, and I have conversations with empowered creators such as yourself who are choosing to walk, live, and move through life in ways that are truly aligned with who you are. Not who you have been told you are, not even who you think you are, but who you truly are. It is my perception that if you choose to stay and watch this video to completion, especially if you feel a sort of pull or an inspiration, that there will be something here for you that will amplify or add to the experience of your life in ways that may seem profound or they may seem imperceptible, but nonetheless will be deeply satisfying. We're always trusting something, even if what we are trusting is our own sense of distrust. Even if what we're trusting is you can't trust anything, even if we're trusting that there's chaos. And there is chaos and order, light and dark, perceived good, perceived bad. It's all existing simultaneously, and it is all part of the material and the fabric. It is all part of the spectrum of this experience. Sometimes this journey of life and of trust and of shifting can feel challenging and intense, but it doesn't have to. Sometimes it can feel easeful, joyful, automatic, but it doesn't have to. The key that I have found is not being attached to the way that it unfolds for you. You're not going, oh, well, it's definitely going to be hard, or, oh man, I need it to be easy. Peace, in my experience, isn't the absence of challenge. It is the ability to embrace all that is happening in the present moment and say, yes, and this too, and mean it. This willingness is the catalyst that allows us to go deeper than resistance would allow us to go. And by deeper, I mean to sit deeper in our lives, in our bodies, in the experiences that we are having in the moment. I perceive you're on this channel because you're someone who is choosing to shift from a place of avoidance or blocking into things to being so completely aware of yourself and your situation, so grounded in yourself that you can be aware of everything, the beauty and the warts and the joys and the despairs. And instead of flopping around, you're choosing to navigate. One of the reasons self-trust is essential in life navigation is if you didn't trust your compass, how could you use it to guide you through the unknowns in life? In a similar way, our relationship with ourself helps us navigate with ease and clarity. From there, we tap into the intuition and can connect to our imagination. Use the imagination as fuel, and then to go ahead and drop attachment to the outcome or picture so that the bridge of incidences, these synchronicities, can line up and I can use my discernment to make effective choices that actually lead to a satisfying life, whether I can fully picture it from where I sit right here, right now, or not. As you live your day-to-day life, you will have opportunities to make choices. Coming and feeling inspired by videos like this are great, but where it really, really, really matters is in the day-to-day of your life. Your ability to step inward and then forward and live it. And again, I've mentioned this before, it's not about perfection. It's not about beating yourself up if you're like, well, I watched that video and I said I was all in, then I went over here. Okay, so you did. Now what? Now what at this moment? This is the shift. It's not, oh, I did that, so I guess everything's gonna fall off. And if you do that for a bit, okay, no shame, blame. And then once you've caught that and you're back in the present moment, now what? Because in every given moment, we have the opportunity to come back into the center. We have the opportunity to breathe in. We have the opportunity to connect with the deep sense of trust that exists within us. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again, we're always trusting something.
Now, this conversation on trust is one that we could speak on at great length. For the purposes of today's conversation, what I invite us to consider is that within this human experience, one of the root sources of trust is within our body. Our relationship with our body is a powerful catalyst for the experience of trust that we have within this world. If it feels resonant to you, I invite you to explore this for yourself. You can place a right hand over your heart and a left hand over your belly. Then go ahead and simply take in a breath through your nose and let it out. And then now, take a moment and imagine that you are appreciating your body. Imagine that you are looking inward at your body as a friend. Tell it thank you. Even if you guys have some disagreements active, even if your body isn't quite up to the speed you'd like, in all the ways that are genuine, this is your opportunity to say thank you. And from this point forward, if you so choose, this is an opportunity to deepen the relationship you have with your body. And you can say to it, I'm here and I'm listening to you. I look forward to the ways that we get to build on trust together from here. And if it feels good, let's all take a breath in together. And out. And now let's talk a little bit about some of the practical ways you can connect with your body from here.
Some practical steps for developing a relationship with your body include things like yoga, sports, working out, physical activities. I'm sure you could think of a ton. We have some wild ones joining us in the conversation now and again. And the practice that is the most resonant one, I find, is the one that suits you, that you can stick to, and that helps you connect to your aliveness. That's the most important one. The one that allows you to have consistency. One of the things I chose to do was to incorporate more nature walks, very regular walks. And so I'll go for walks around parks or around neighborhoods or in forests, wherever I'm choosing to be. And in a similar way, You can create for yourself what it is that you would like to incorporate in your life. And I invite you to remember, if you hear that and you go, well, I don't have time. I invite you to remember that first and foremost, the stories we tell ourselves about what we have and don't have are powerful. If that is the reality you would like to anchor in, the one where you don't have time, then you can perpetuate that by continuing to say that. If you would like to explore experiencing a new reality, you are able to explore new ways of saying this that are more in alignment with what you're ready to experience. Up until now, I have seen it as though I have no time, but I'm so curious about how easy it can be for me to have time to do everything I want. I am curious how easy and simple it can be for me to have the time to do everything that I enjoy. And I have the time and space to do the things that matter to me. There's been some fire to this conversation, and I love it. What feels most important here to say in terms of creating trust with yourself is that it's not a failing if you have a challenging relationship with your body or with yourself. Wherever you are is appropriate. This is very important because all of us have a unique experience. And I'm not here to create or perpetuate an idea that everyone is supposed to just do this and suddenly shift something in their reality. This is the paradox. Because there is no supposed to. If it's resonant for you to do that and shift things, you will. And if it's not, that means that there is an experience of resonance connected to you. And the perspective I would invite you to is to get curious with yourself and say, well, if not this, then what? If the way you have been living has not resonated with you, then what? If there is a story saying, well, I can't have it another way, I would invite you to be very curious about that story. Because in all of my explorations, anything that has said to me I can't or it cannot has simply been an aspect of me that was misinformed or not seeing the whole picture. So perhaps we don't need to give too much focus or energy towards aspects of self that are not seeing the whole picture, and we can guide all the aspects of ourselves to experience a fuller picture, which may lead to new insights, inspirations, and pathways and ways that you can remember your natural ability to trust, beginning with yourself, beginning with the way that you interface with your body and yourself and this whole world around us and within us. Because my experience is that we are fractals. And the microcosm that you are experiencing within yourself is being amplified without. And so anything we feel frustrated about outside of ourselves is an opportunity. I'm not saying you are causing this. I'm not saying this. I am saying that these things are opportunities, because if there's something here that's tickling something here, it just means there's a harmonic resonance in a fractal sense. And that while the things out here, you as the human self might have to expend a lot of energy just to make a small shift on, you can instead track where the energy is within your body. You can connect with that. And through the connection with that, through trust with yourself, through discernment, and through having a little bit of levity and a sense of humor about it, you may connect with some real, interesting wisdom. For today, I feel that is a powerful point for us to pause here. We've had a very in-depth conversation together. And if you have any comments, any feedback on today's conversation, please feel free to share it with us in the comment area. I have some more resources in the description area. And soon, within the membership on this channel, we will be performing some meditations and live experiences together. So if that interests you, you might visit that as well. And in all cases, looking forward to our next conversation. And I deeply appreciate you. Talk soon.